Imagine you have 3 jars sitting on your kitchen counter. The first jar is made of clear glass. Everyone can see inside it. Every year, a hand reaches in and takes a small piece of whatever grew inside. The second jar is sealed shut. Nothing comes out until you decide to open it. Everything inside grows without anyone touching it. The third jar is magical. The government has already been paid. Everything that grows inside this jar belongs to you forever. Every single penny. No hand reaches in. Ever. Now imagine you have $600,000 to put into these jars. You can put any amount in any jar. But here is the twist. Most people put their money in the wrong jars. They put the money that grows the fastest into the glass jar, where the hand takes the most. And they put the money that grows the slowest into the magic jar, where it does almost nothing. Today, I am going to show you how to fix that. I am going to show you how the same $600,000 in the same market with the same stocks can become $2.3 million instead of $1.4 million. Just by moving money between 3 jars. My name is Elon. And this is not a video about picking better stocks. This is about putting your stocks in the right home. Let me tell you about a man named Marcus. Marcus is 45 years old. He runs a small service business. He has been saving for retirement for years. He has $600,000 spread across 3 accounts. Marcus has a 401k from his old job. He has a regular taxable brokerage account. And he has a Roth IRA that he set up a long time ago and has not thought about much since. Here is what Marcus did. He put the same investments in every account. A mix of stocks and bonds. 60% stocks. 40% bonds. The same mix everywhere. It looks clean. It looks simple. It looks responsible. But Marcus made a mistake. A big one. He put his bond fund, which grows slowly and pays regular interest, into his taxable brokerage account. Every year, that interest gets taxed. The government takes a piece. Every year. And he put his stock fund, which grows faster and is more tax efficient, into his 401k. Inside the 401k, the tax benefit of the stocks is wasted because everything comes out as ordinary income anyway. And his Roth IRA, the magic jar where everything grows tax-free? He put it in a money market fund earning almost nothing. The magic jar is empty. Marcus is organized. He is responsible. He is not optimized. Before we fix Marcus, I need to show you another leak. A leak that most people never see. Marcus pays a financial advisor 1% of his money every year. That is $6,000 a year. On top of that, the mutual funds he owns charge another 0.75% in fees. That is another $4,500 a year. Total annual cost: $10,500. That money does not just disappear. It compounds against him. Every dollar he pays in fees is a dollar that is not in his account growing for the next 20 years. Let me do the math. At a 7% return before fees, with his 1.75% in fees, his net return is 5.25%. Over 30 years, his $600,000 grows to about $2.8 million. Without those fees, at 7%, it grows to about $4.6 million. The difference is $1.8 million. That is not a small mistake. That is a second retirement. Now, some people say, but active funds outperform index funds. The fees are worth it. Here is the truth. According to the data, over 15 years, almost 90% of active large-cap funds underperform their benchmark index. Not slightly. They lose. The fix is simple. Switch to low-cost index funds that charge 0.03% instead of 0.75%. That one change saves Marcus hundreds of thousands of dollars over time. But that is actually the smaller fix. The bigger fix is coming. Here is a number that will shock you. The average investor loses about 1.14% of their annual growth to taxes. That is almost 3 times more than what they lose to fees. And unlike fees, you never see the tax cost on your statement. Your brokerage app shows you growth before taxes. Your fund report shows performance before taxes. You have probably never seen your actual after-tax return anywhere. Here is how the tax leak works. You buy a fund in a regular taxable account. That fund pays dividends. You owe taxes on those dividends this year, even if you reinvest them. The fund buys and sells stocks inside it. Those trades create capital gains. The fund passes those gains to you. You owe taxes on those gains this year, even if you never sold a single share yourself. Every dollar that goes to taxes is a dollar that is no longer in your account, compounding for the next 20 years. Let me show you the difference. 2 investors start with $100,000. Both earn the same 7% before taxes. One pays taxes every year. One defers taxes until the end. After 10 years, the investor who paid taxes early is behind by more than $41,000. To catch up, they would need to earn almost 2% more every year for the rest of the decade. That is the cost of the tax leak. And almost every investor with a taxable account is paying it. Now let me explain the 3 jars clearly. Jar number 1 is the glass jar. This is your regular taxable brokerage account. The government sees everything inside. Every year, it takes a piece of your dividends and capital gains. This jar is good for assets that do not generate much taxable income. Jar number 2 is the sealed jar. This is your 401k or traditional IRA. Nothing comes out until you retire. While it is sealed, everything inside grows completely untouched by taxes. You pay tax when you take money out, usually at a lower rate. This jar is good for assets that generate a lot of taxable income, like bonds. Jar number 3 is the magic jar. This is your Roth IRA. You paid taxes on the money before it went in. The government has already been paid. Everything that grows inside this jar comes out completely tax-free. Forever. This jar is the most powerful. It is where you want your fastest growing assets. The rule is simple. Put your slowest growing, most tax-inefficient assets in the sealed jar. Put your steady, tax-efficient assets in the glass jar. Put your fastest growing, most aggressive assets in the magic jar. Most people do the opposite. They put bonds, which grow slowly, in their taxable account, where the interest gets taxed every year. They put stocks, which grow faster, in their retirement accounts, where the tax benefit is wasted. And they leave their Roth IRA in cash, earning nothing. Let me show you how Marcus fixes his 3 jars in one Sunday afternoon. Before the fix, Marcus has $600,000. $400,000 in his 401k sealed jar. $150,000 in his taxable brokerage glass jar. $50,000 in his Roth IRA magic jar. Every account has the same 60% stocks, 40% bonds mix. His bond fund is in the glass jar. Every year, its interest is taxed at his regular income rate. His stock fund is in the sealed jar, where its tax efficiency is wasted. His magic jar is in a money market fund earning almost nothing. After the fix, Marcus moves his bond fund entirely into the sealed jar, his 401k. Inside there, the interest compounds completely untouched for 20 years. He moves his stock index fund into the glass jar, his taxable brokerage. Now, the dividends are mostly qualified, taxed at the lower capital gains rate. He controls when he sells, so he controls when he pays tax. He moves his most aggressive fund, a small cap value index fund, into the magic jar, his Roth IRA. This fund is expected to grow the most over time. Every dollar of that growth will come out completely tax-free. Marcus did not buy a single new stock. He did not sell anything. He just moved money between jars. His after-tax return improved by about 1.3% per year. Over 20 years, that one afternoon of work turns his $600,000 into about $2.3 million instead of $1.4 million. Let me show you the numbers clearly. At 5.7% after-tax return, before the fix, $600,000 grows to about $1,880,000 in 20 years. At 7% after-tax return, after the fix, the same $600,000 grows to about $2,320,000 in 20 years. The difference is $440,000. That is not a small amount. That is a house down payment. That is years of retirement travel. That is a gift to your children. And that difference comes from one decision. Moving a bond fund from the glass jar to the seal jar. Moving an index fund from the seal jar to the glass jar. Moving a small cap fund from nowhere into the magic jar. No new money. No new risk. No market timing. Just structure. Let me give you a more complete example. Meet Claudia. She is 52 years old. She has $600,000 saved. $250,000 in her 401k seal jar. $220,000 in her taxable brokerage glass jar. $130,000 in her Roth IRA magic jar. Claudia, like Marcus, has the same mix everywhere. She is paying 1% to an advisor. Her funds charge another 0.75%. Her effective after-tax return is about 5.7%. The fix. Move the bond fund into the 401k. Move the stock index fund into the taxable account. Move a small cap value fund into the Roth IRA. Fire the 1% advisor and replace with a flat fee planner costing under $2,000 per year. Total ongoing costs drop to under 0.1%. Her effective after-tax return rises to about 7%. At 5.7% for 15 years, her $600,000 becomes about $1,378,000. At 7% for 15 years, it becomes about $1,655,000. The difference is $277,000. And here is the bonus. Claudia's Roth IRA, the magic jar, sits untouched until she is 75. That small cap fund compounds tax-free for another decade. That money can go to her kids with no tax complications. This is generational wealth. It starts with one organizational decision at age 52. Now, you might be wondering, if this is so simple and so powerful, why did nobody tell me? Here is the honest answer. Your financial advisor makes money based on how much money you have in your accounts. They charge a percentage. That percentage is the same whether your accounts are optimized or not. Spending 2 hours reorganizing your 3 jars generates 0 additional revenue for your advisor. Finding a new client generates thousands. The system is not broken. It is just not designed to prioritize your optimization. The incentive is not aligned with your interest. That is why you have to do this yourself. Not because the math is hard. Because no one else has a financial incentive to do it for you. Here are 3 things you can do this week. First, audit your jars. Write down every account you have. For 401k, IRA, Roth IRA, taxable brokerage. Write down what is in each one. If you have a bond fund or a REIT fund in your taxable account, that is your first fix. Move it to your 401k or traditional IRA. Second, check your fees. Look at the expense ratio for every fund you own. If you are paying more than 0.2%, switch to a low-cost index fund. The difference over 20 years is not small. It is hundreds of thousands of dollars. Third, fill your magic jar with your fastest-growing assets. Your Roth IRA is the most powerful tool in the tax code. Do not waste it on bonds or cash. Put your most aggressive, highest expected return funds in there. Let them grow for decades. Pay zero tax on the gains. Here is the truth that most financial videos will never tell you. You do not need to pick better stocks. You do not need to time the market. You do not need to take more risk. You just need to put your money in the right jars. The same $600,000 in the same market with the same stocks can become $2.3 million instead of $1.4 million. The difference is not luck. It is structure. Take one afternoon this week. Open your accounts. Look at where your money lives. Move it to the right jars. Then forget about it and let compounding do its work. If this video changed how you see your retirement accounts, subscribe to this channel. We do not sell hype. We show you the hidden math. See you in the next video.